Stonewall Jackson's no longer standing like a stone wall, is he? Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And Johnny, like 1862. I can't. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's our year. It's a blue year. Very much a blue year.
All right. Let's try to turn it into a coming back together year.
Yeah,
maybe
coming back together.
Year.
Yeah.
We could go blend the blue and the red, and
new year, new
maybe
me.
make a country again.
New year, one country. Yeah. Let's get into it.
We'll give it a shot.
For a nice change, though, over the last month, or so far in March, has been a very bloody, violent month. But we're going to begin this week on March 21st with nada. No battles, no fighting, no killing, no nothing. We got a day off.
Hey, how about that? That's nice. Hey, enjoy it.
In the only real note I have here, Johnny, is in the day book of Virginian troops. It was noted that drinking has gotten a bit out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
Especially amongst officers where, and I quote you, not in like the official reports in Virginia over the soldiers and the conditions, and I quote here, officers imbibe in quantities which would astonish the nerves of a cast iron lamppost and a quality which would destroy the digestive organs of the ostrich. So basically they are drinking so much that a lamppost would be like, you guys need to calm it down a little bit. And they're drinking garbage that would destroy an ostrich's.
I mean, that's some beautiful writing. Well done to that soldier. Stay alive and write after this. But, yeah, so I imagine officers are the ones who can afford to buy alcohol. I imagine the money
soldiers get some too, but yeah. The officers
some.
are real drinking.
Yeah, but I mean, like we've seen, it's if you start at the top and say here's everything, not a whole lot's gonna go down. So that's a little disheartening to hear. I mean, I imagine a lot of it comes from boredom and fear,
and
right?
pretty bad morale right now. The entire South, there's not a lot of hopes for the future. It's been a pretty rough year for them.
As everybody knows, when you start dreading the future, something that helps is drinking alcohol.
Coming from, I can't really claim. I'm an officer here who's sitting and telling you all stories while I.
Well, I wasn't. I'm scared to death of the future, Tommy. I don't know when I'm ever going to find some gold, and I'm here drinking. So,
who are we to
cheers
judge,
to those
right?
officers.
On the 22nd of March, federal forces pulling back from Stonewall Jackson wound up engaging in a skirmish with Jackson's front elements near Kernstown, Virginia. And, of course, that skirmishing is going to quickly turn into a full-scale battle on the 23rd. So,
great.
There goes our peace.
Had a couple days.
Had a couple days of
nothing.
fighting.
That was nice.
And now we're back at it. So after the skirmish on the 22nd, Confederate cavalry officer under Turner Ashby is going to report to Jackson that the Union forces around Winchester only had a small rear contingent under Brigadier General James Shield, and with his 1st Brigade underneath Colonel Nathaniel Kimball, that was all there. So out of this entire brigade, you only have Colonel Nathaniel Kimball's forces at Winchester, or right around Winchester. What Stonewall Jackson didn't know was that it was actually the entire 1st Division of 9,000 men near Kernstown, just south of Winchester. So this force doubled Jackson's contingent of 4,200 men. So Jackson was about ready to walk in on a hell of a lot more men than he was expecting.
Yeah. So how did they not? Did they just not get that intel, or because they were just nearby, or
they just didn't see it when the Confederate cavalry engaged.
Bad scout.
They're going to engage on the 22nd in a skirmish.
Yeah,
they're going to engage a small contingent of Union forces, and that's all they think that they're there.
They think they're fighting everybody.
Yeah, they think it's only Colonel Nathaniel Kimball with his small group of forces. But it's not. So a little bit of background. Up to this point, Union forces underneath Banks had to send 2 divisions to protect Washington, with the remaining, the goal was to keep Jackson occupied so he couldn't assist forces in Richmond. On the other side, Jackson had orders to keep Banks' forces from leaving the Shenandoah Valley so that they couldn't assist McClellan and his attack on Richmond. So you got both forces that are trying to keep the other one occupied. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
So seeing that the Union forces were attempting to leave the valley and wrongfully thinking that they were a smaller force, Jackson decides to attack at 11 a.m. on Sunday.
And he thinks he's just going to take them out or capture them and easy peasy, roll them over, be done.
I point out that the date is on Sunday because Jackson, being a very religious man, didn't want to attack on the Sabbath, but thought that he had no choice because he thought if he didn't attack now, the Union would get reinforcements.
All right, so wait, he claims to be a religious man with a fear of God, but he's like, oh, well, I guess God will understand if I have to attack on his day anyway.
Yeah, well, we probably should have listened to his God because
coward.
He didn't. He did attack, and it doesn't go in his favor.
Yeah, that's God smiting him. Of course it doesn't go in his favor. He's like, well, what are you doing? This is my day.
This is my day.
You told yourself in your head.
Don't do it, and if you did it, and then now here we are.
Oh, God's pissed.
God is pissed. So Jackson himself does not do any personal reconnaissance of the battlefield, and he just sends his cavalry headlong into what he thought was a brigade underneath Nathaniel Kimball, and what he found was a whole division under General Shields. Whoops!
What a surprise! That's embarrassing.
Yeah, battle is going to begin with Jackson sending his cavalry on the main position of Kimball's forces, who got cut down pretty quickly as they were very much outnumbered.
Yeah.
Jackson's main force he used to attempt to take the Union artillery positions at Pritchard Hill. Jackson's main attack on Pritchard Hill by Samuel Fulkerson was repulsed, and Jackson then withdrew and turned his attention to an unmanned hill on the Union right known as Sandy Ridge. He thought, well, I'll flank them up on this ridge, get the high ground, put my artillery up there.
So he's just running all over the place.
Yeah, we'll push this small little Union contingency aside.
Like he's just running and poking to see where he can get through.
Kimball's going to see the movements coming, and he's going to try to counter his flanking maneuver with his own flanking maneuver, but Confederate forces actually are going to arrive. Yeah, they're going to arrive on the hill first, and when they do arrive, they look down the hill and see what appeared to be 10,000 Union troops, and realize that they're kind of screwed. So they immediately report back to Jackson, who says, and I quote, "Say nothing about it. We're in it. We're in for it now." So basically, Jackson, we're already engaged. Fuck. Oops.
So he's just going to sacrifice everybody.
He's like, well, let's see what we can do about it.
And what did he do about it?
Well, at 4 p.m., the Union 3rd Brigade under Erastus Tyler begins assaulting Confederate positions on Sandy Ridge. The Confederates were behind a nice stone wall and were able to slow down the Union assault, so they are able to make some headway here. Jackson attempts to bring up his reserves under Colonel Jesse Burke, but by the time they actually reached the stone wall, Confederate forces underneath Garnett had been forced to retreat because they ran out of ammunition.
Oh, shoot.
Same story
so again,
that we keep hearing
come
over
down to
and
supplies.
over and over again. No supplies, no bullets, no nothing.
We'd be pretty hosed if they were well supplied.
Yeah, the Confederate reinforcements
sure,
coming
it's a good
up.
thing Europe's not supplying them.
Yeah, you got the Confederate reinforcements coming up the hill. You got the Confederates that were on the hill going, we're out of bullets, run away.
Yeah,
and then they shit. And they run
into each other, tripping over each other.
Do
you have bullets? Can I have some?
Yeah, full panic ensues, and the mob basically just starts running the other direction as when you get a bunch of thousands of scared people running at you, it doesn't matter how you're going to...
people start running. You run. It doesn't. You don't ask questions when everybody's running in a panic. You say they're running in a panic for a reason. I'm gonna go too. It's like looking up. Go into your town center. Look up. See how many other people look up.
Yep,
they're gonna do it. They don't know what the hell you're looking at.
Jackson
it's a monkey brain survival instinct.
It is very much. Hey! None of that Darwin stuff here. This is a Christian channel. Anyways, Johnny, Jackson attempts to rally his troops on the story, and the story goes that he called a private who said he was out of ammunition, and Jackson said, "Then give them the bayonet." And the soldier looked at him and said, "Nah, I'm good," and just kept walking away. Just ignored him.
You didn't mishear. Everybody's not out of ammunition. Just our side.
Yeah. They still have bullets.
We'll try with the bayonet, but they have that thing that shoots further than what
the bayonet
that
does.
Can reach. So a cool quote. I mean, pretty hardcore. But you do it.
Yeah, you
go.
Give the bayonet. After he was ignored by his soldiers, when he said give them the bayonet, Jackson reportedly said, well, I'm satisfied, and then withdrew his forces from the field. Basically, Jackson, you had no choice. Your army was en route, and you went, well, since nobody's standing with me, we're retreating, guys. Bye.
I can't blame him.
I can't blame him.
I mean, he tried. He's like, all right, well, fine. Keep fighting with the short swords on the end of your guns that don't work. And they're like, no. And he's like, all right, let's go.
Let's go home.
What else is he going to do?
Exactly.
He going to charge there himself? Like, I mean, come on.
Union is going to lose 118 killed, 450 wounded, and 22 missing.
Jeez.
Versus Confederates, 80 killed, 375 wounded, and 263 captured. So victory for Union.
I guess. Can we do like a totals next week? See how many we've done lost so far at this point.
I'd have to look at notes and notes and notes and notes. I'll try to find some total casualty
Let's see.
Up to this point. I'll try to figure it out.
Up to this point. We'll get a ballpark because it has been. I mean, have we passed what we lost in the Revolutionary War yet? Surely not.
Probably getting pretty close. Yeah.
But good God, this is insane.
I mean, granted, every casualty on both sides counts as American casualties, so we're getting up there. But yeah, it's got to be
just count
close.
the Unions, though. Even at that rate, it's bad.
Yeah, we're losing quite a bit here. Unfortunately, though, this victory is a little bit of a hollow one because on March 24th, Jackson would be given orders to keep Union forces of Nathaniel Banks in the valley and ensure that they cannot assist with McClellan's Peninsula campaign. This is going to begin Stonewall Jackson's Shenandoah Valley campaign, where he's going to keep pressure on Washington, so basically at all times threatening Washington, which is going to encourage Lincoln to order Banks to stay in the valley to deal with Jackson, as it becomes clear to him that McClellan wasn't going to have a rear guard left to defend Washington, so somebody's got to do it. On the 25th.
Wow. Okay. So that's something that's done its job, right?
Yeah. So
if you poke the bear at Washington, you got to protect it, especially after Lincoln's war order number whatever that said protect me and Washington at all costs, please.
Yeah. And for those who are geographically illiterate or geographically not inclined, I don't know what word I'm looking for here. Washington is actually
ignorant about the geography.
Washington is actually pretty much below the northern line there. Like Washington D.C. itself sits pretty much like in Virginia, like in almost Confederate territory. So it doesn't take a lot to.
Y'all want to change our capital?
We probably should have. Yeah, we didn't really think about this whole Civil War thing.
What do they got going up in upstate New York? Nobody wants to attack
New York.
there.
Yeah, New York. Let's make that the capital. But in any case,
no. That's upstate. Upstate, where it's
Buffalo?
all just snow in Buffalo. Yeah,
Buffalo.
I got you. Come get us. Good luck.
Put it in Detroit, Michigan. In any case. So this is Jackson's goal now is just to keep Banks's forces in away from Richmond, and we'll see how that plays out for him. On the 25th of March, Union forces in Tennessee will begin a reconnaissance expedition out of Murfreesboro. Their goal here is to see what can we mess up in Tennessee? Like we got to take over the whole state of Tennessee. What's left there? Where are the Confederate forces out in the west?
So it's just a little poke around to see where we want to vandalize.
Yep. On the 26th, Confederate forces will move out from Santa Fe, New Mexico, where they're going to be surprised by Union forces who also moved out of Fort Union. The Union forces of 1,300 Colorado volunteers would meet the 1,100-strong Confederates near Apache Canyon.
Okay.
Union forces are going to quickly take 50 pickets that were set by Colonel Pyron and attempt to engage the main force of the Confederates. Union was pushed back briefly by Confederate artillery, but Union, underneath Colonel Chivington, is going to split his forces into two columns and is going to get the Confederates into crossfire. So basically, he attacks the flanks at the same time and gets.
It makes them shoot at each other.
Once the artillery,
That's a heady play.
yeah, right. Once the artillery broke positions, Shivington pushed the assault with continued crossfire until Confederates retreated from the field. Once the Confederates have retreated, Shivington looks around at the situation and says, well, I'm not really in a great defensible position here. Yes, I've taken the battlefield, but I'm going to go ahead and retreat back to what's called Pigeon's Ranch near Gloretta Pass, as he was unsure of how much Confederate reinforcements existed and didn't want to engage the entire Confederate force.
But just maybe see first.
Right? He's going to lose...
Maybe try to keep it, and then...
Right? Shivington is going to lose 5 killed, 14 wounded, and 3 missing to Confederate...
Okay, all right.
This is small-scale battle. This is a small one. 1,000 guys. This is like a regiment against a regiment. So not the numbers that we had earlier.
I know.
But still
5, though?
Yeah, 5 killed.
Stay! Capture! Take! Keep pushing back. Don't be like, well, job well done.
Job well done.
Bye.
The Confederates are going to lose 4 killed, 20 wounded, and 75 captured. So they do capture quite a few Confederates here. So
good. More mouths to feed.
More mouths to feed. And Johnny, another eventful week is going to come to an end with Traitor President Davis ordering Joseph E. Johnston to reinforce Confederates on the peninsula as McClellan is getting close, and he doesn't like what he's seeing. So time to figure something out.
Scared.
Yeah, reinforce Yorktown. The Union forces are getting kind of close. Do something. Yeah. We'll have to see what happens next week on any of that in the Peninsula campaign, though. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight, where we talk about all kinds of fun things like women's health issues and how male doctors thought massage was an appropriate treatment for hysteria.